Rasmus Dahlin, the next McDavid Matthews, but on defense, he will be the first overall pick in the next draft.
Medal, it was the first experience at hockey that I was really nervous before the game.
Rasmus Dahlin, who leads the Swedes in ice time, plays it back. Held the point by Mete. Alex Formanton in, shoots, saved by Gustafsson. Rebound, Formanton, wraparound try, that goes up. Off the sideboards it goes. Timothy Liljegren missed it. Now loose at center ice, swept back there by Fredrik Karlström. Swedes have all hands on deck at a couple of. New Jersey has 7 prospects in the World Junior Championship, the most of any team. Rasmus Dahlin drops it back, picked off by Dylan Dubé. Dubé tied up there by Dahlin, and Rasmus Dahlin slides out ahead for Glenn. Taps that back, and Dahlin goes back to pick it up. Sweden, the home team, has the last change. We'll likely see Dahlin mostly against Canada's line.
Able to clear the zone.
30 seconds to go on the Canadian power play. In comes Makar with a one-on-one dash. Makar works in, shoots, and Gustafsson makes the stop. Now Patterson works it free. Pokes it around for Kachuk. Patterson back on it. The puck's still loose behind the goal. As Brandstrom played it around the line, held by Bean. Flips it there to Thomas. Back it goes to Bean. Cross he goes. Makar shoots. He fan the one-timer. Dahlin plays it around, waiting for it. Is Steen. He back around. Canada won that game and won gold a year after the punch-up in Piastani. Robert Thomas banks it in, trying to find Gadjevich with that pass. But icing called against Canada. Moves it ahead to McLeod, brings by past the Clay with the shot, goes off the foot of Dahlin in line, and Gadjevich plays it around. Boqvist to the line, Clay keeps it alive towards the goal. Gadjevich almost got a stick on that. Now Gadjevich knocks out Brandstrom, and a penalty coming to Canada. Jonah Gadjevich. Dahlin plays it back for Brandstrom. So the extra skater comes on for the Swedes. They'll get their first power play chance when Canada touches up here. And Clegg will still streaming in here. The entryways are jammed with people waiting to take their seats as people were picking up tickets late to this gold medal contest. Isaac Lundestrom in the final second down the Swedish power play, bumped there by power play. Fabro on the back end for Gadjevich on the penalty box. It goes right back to Fabro. Dante Fabro. Maxime Comtois sends that down to the Swedish zone. Dahlin back for it. Mete. Long lead pass for Dylan Dubé. Works in. Around Dahlin. Dubé pokes it back at the corner. Dahlin steps into him. Kyrou trying to poke it free. The top line of the ice now for Canada. Mete. Down to Kyrou. Jordan Kyrou feeds it back in front. Buck wide there by Steele. Back is Kyrou with it. Kyrou feeds it back for Mete. Rossi goes to Connor Timmins. His long shot stopped by Vincent. Like a pound to the loose puck. They score, but out to the whistle. No goal. It's waved off.
Listen to it. Whistle, but he's not covered it yet. You can see where the official is. He can't see past the goalie. Canada gets a tough break here.
No score on the open.
Play stays alive. A tough break for Canada here as the game remains scoreless.
Off the draw, Gadjevich in shoots. That shut down short side by Gustafsson. And now get up, slides it in for Mete. In for Steele. Sam Steele works ahead. Looking for Dubé, who sweeps that down to the Swedish zone. Gustafsson out to play it, but Steele picks it up. Puck bounces right back in front. And Dahlin pokes back for Timmins. And he goes for Kyrou. Kyrou gets around Brandstrom. Steps around Gustafsson. Brandstrom back on it. Picked up now by Steele. Throws it to the front of the goal, and Gustafsson.
1 gold medal in the last 8 years, however. As this tournament is flattened out, more teams have a chance to win.
Scramble draw. Scooped up by Kyrou with Dubé. Dahlin knocks it away. And again, this matchup remains the same. Thomas Monton sticks to his matchup pretty tightly. We'll see Dahlin out there as much as possible against the Steele line. In comes Dahlin across the line. Rasmus Dahlin. Watched there by Timmins. He stays with him. At the side of the goal is Oscar Steen. Wraparound drive. Hart shut that down short side. Now Lundestrom centers. Sort of in. Shoots. He wrapped it wide. Dahlin down for Steen. Loose puck goes to Kyrou. Throws that right through the middle and bounces back to center ice.
This line
by Pettersson. Plays it down to Boqvist. Jesper Boqvist. Falls. The puck picked up and moved ahead by foot. He finds Comtois. Comtois drops it back for foot. Pokes it towards the goal. Gustafsson knocked that away. Knocked down now by Howden. Back in the corner is Brett Howden digging for it. Centering pass from Lundestrom, and the Swedes break out 3 wide. Formanton racing back on Lundestrom. Now loose in the corner. Mete bats at it. Dahlin couldn't hold it. Comtois plays it back out. Comtois knocks it down. that down wide of the goal. Up the other side, it goes to Radish. Radish had it knocked away by Brandstrom. The Canadians trail 1-0 and 2-1 in that semifinal in Montreal. Dahlin being watched there by Radish. Lines it up for Karlstrom. Now Thomas broke that up, and Dahlin has it back. Knocked down at center ice was with Vancouver and Victoria. Boris Tkachuk, as the teams begin the second period, 5-on-5, shovels that down. Both teams on a power play in the opening period. Taylor Radish lays that down to Thomas. Drops it off for Clay, moving in a centering pass, goes off a skate, bounces right back to the corner. Radish kicking at it. And Eric Brandlander bats it ahead and kicked down the ice by Tkachuk, and Canada could begin a change. Boris Tkachuk got tripped up and was limping back to the Canadian bench. In comes Liljegren. For Nylander, next year, Contois and Formanton are the others. Jordan Kyrou brings it ahead. Kyrou across the line with Dubé. Through the head for Dubé. In shoots, scores! Dylan Dubé!
Gord in the first period. They have to make a direct pass. They do. It gets into the middle of the ice to steal to Kyrou. Look at Kyrou pull up for just a moment. Of Philip Gustafson, and Canada has the lead.
Mom and Dad, Harris and Susie there. Dylan Dubé from Cochrane, Alberta. Calgary second round pick, stuck in their camp right to the end before being sent back to Kelowna of the Western Hockey League. Dante Fabro up for Radish. That pass skipped away from him. Brandstrom back for it. Once again paired with Rasmus Dahlin. Brandstrom drops it back. Dahlin with a head of steam. Here he comes across the Canadian line. Dahlin trying to move that by Tkachuk. Waiting for it is Fabro. On the boards as Radish can't clear it out. Brandstrom ahead for Soderlife. Pettersson knocked down by Bean, who backhands that back down to the Swedish zone. Kyrou in for Steele. Dahlin steps into him. Troubles that pass ahead for Zetterlund. He's bumped off the puck by Dubé. Linus Lindstrom. Now fed ahead Elias Pettersson. Works in the corner, being shadowed there by Fabro. Plays it back for Dahlin. Rasmus Dahlin, a long shot, stopped through the traffic by Hart. Here's Pettersson back with it. Walks off the boards, poke check there by Dubé, couldn't clear by Dahlin. And Fabro strips Dahlin of the puck. And Dante Fabro makes a great defensive play for Kyrou. Rink wide for Bean jumping in. And Bean lays that down to the Swedish zone as Canada will once again change. We're going to be out of here in 2 hours at this rate.
The game has gone up and down the ice from the very beginning.
McLeod, little back pass there for Batherson, and moves it down to the Swedish zone. Back goes Dahlin for it. What a tournament Rasmus Dahlin's having as an underage player. Won't be 18 until a couple of months from now. Connor Timmins throws that through the middle for McLeod. Batherson chips it ahead. In comes Gagner. It's a long shot. Goes off a leg. And Dahlin clears the rebound. But and Anderson waiting for it. Moves it across to Eric Brandstrom. His pass picked off by Timmins. Swings it across for Mete. Up for Kyrou. Canada breaks in 3 wide. Jordan Kyrou works in. Cold shoots. That was blocked by Brandstrom. At the line, Timmins can't quite hold it. Now Timmins being harassed there by Nylander. Looks ahead for Steele. And back goes Dahlin. Kyrou stepped into him. Along the boards, knocked down by Steele. Boquist picks it up. Throws it rink wide for Dahlin, who's jumped in. He drops it back. Anderson's shot goes off the stick of Kyrou. Up for Radish. And Taylor Radish trying to move that ahead. Picked up by Davidson. Up for Johnsson. And once again, Rasmus Dahlin jumps in. On Clay. Dahlin winds in. Shoot, just missed. Johnsson shovels it back in front. That pass picked off by Radish. Kind of a long shift for him. He can't clear it out. Linus Lindstrom drops it back. Winding in is Pettersson. He was poke check. As Fabro got a stick on it. Now Dahlin centers him. Chance in front. Hart makes the save. He takes it away from Zetterlund. Thomas doesn't have a stick. Back in the point. Brandstrom and drive. Hart makes the save and hangs on. Who sends it down. One shot on goal for Canada on that power play. Dahlin back for it. Bumped there by Dubé. Out moves ahead. Plays it back. Long shot taken there by Mete. Knocked away by Gustafson. Elias Anderson lost the puck to Formanton. Anderson back on it, and reaching in there was Howden. Very nifty pass ahead for Dubé. Walking is Dylan Dubé. A shot goes off the skin of Dahlin. Right back to Dubé. Feeds back at the point for Timmins. A long wrist shot. That pinball around in front. Dahlin sends it ahead. Nylander up for Boquist. Picked off by Timmins. Connor Timmins walks in across the line. Feeds it back across. Steele with a shot that goes wide. Here's Dubé back on it. Down to Sam Steele. Dahlin stepped into him. Steele falls. And Dahlin has it back as Canada's changing. Late pass for Jesper Boqvist.
Back to the Swedish dressing room. Anderson hurt his shoulder in the game against Russia, the last game of the preliminary round.
In comes Steele with a chance now, rolls off his stick. Back it goes to Mete. Mete plays it down. Here's Cairo with it. For Steele, back to Cairo. Skates away from Linus Lindstrom. Now picked up by Dubé. Dylan Dubé in, shoots, and Gustafsson hangs on to that.
Glenn Gustafsson's got a couple of goals. That's none of those first rounders.
Steenbergen's shot goes off a leg and wide. Final minute now of the second period. Timmins plays it across for Mete. Back to Connor Timmins. In across the line he comes. Banks that ahead. Davidson knocked it down. Played it behind the net for Dahlin. And Dahlin sticks out.
Night for the Swedes. That's not a good penalty to take. He's trying to move the puck along and interfere with McLeod, but he trips him up. It's a bad penalty. The official standing 5 feet away. In Canada, 0 for 2 on the power play and a shorthanded goal given up. Fresh guys on the ice for this draw.
Scramble draw control by the Canadians. That shot by Steenbergen blocked, gets it right back. Can't pull the trigger this time. And now Steen plays it down by Banks. Late pass for Dubé. In comes Dylan Dubé. Works in. Dubé throws it back just wide of the goal. Dahlin picks it back up. Rasmus Dahlin pokes that back. He lost the puck. Kairu's got it. Now Lundestrom plays it ahead for Zetterlund. The line held by Bean. In for Kairu. Jordan Kairu trying to center. Goes off a skate. And now Zetterlund plays it around for Dahlin. Swedes are changing. Rasmus Dahlin, a long lead pass. Chipped ahead by Linus Lindstrom, but round pick. And Lindstrom wins it. He was questionable for the game tonight. Was shaken up in the semifinal win against the United States. Dahlin, his pass ticked there by Thomas. So Elias Pettersson had it knocked away by Fabro. Dubé swings it ahead just out of the reach of Steele. Steele, the first man there for Canada, picks up the puck in behind the goal. Leaves it for Dubé. Two Swedish defenders converge on him. Bean chips that down to the Swedish zone.
That was Canada's best shift of the third period. A simple, hard work, straight ahead shift.
Mete for Timmins. That pass knocked down at center ice, now brought in by Howden. In comes Brett Howden. Works it back in front. Gustafsson makes the save. And there's no rebound.
Well played, gold medal game.
Maybe a future Battle of Pennsylvania. Gustafsson's a second-round pick of Pittsburgh, part of a second-round pick of the Flyers. Play up to center ice for Steenbergen. Ice for Steenbergen. Gets it by Dahlin. Steenbergen goes in on Dahlin. Loose in the corner now. Picked up by Batherson. And Batherson for McLeod. Anderson took that away. Elias Anderson pivots back. Steen pivots back in the corner, steps away from Fabro. Steen's still on it as Fabro stays with him. A centering pass chipped away by Thomas. He finds Formanton.
That's a good play by Fabro, staying with the shifty Steen and not take a penalty on that site.
Brought in by Thomas. Robert Thomas across the line. Feeds it back across. Kachuk with a shot. Gustafsson makes the save. No shots for Canada on that power play. That one came after Gustav Lindstrom had come back on the ice. Under 7 to go here in the third period. Oscar Steen banks it ahead. Pokes it in for Dahlin. In comes Rasmus. Dahlin gets loose. Shoots. Hart makes the point-blank save. Timmins up ahead by Formanton. Alex Formanton. The Ottawa Senator draft beats that in deep. Gustafsson. Around for Dahlin. Book free by Contois. Centers up by Howden. Howden in. Shoots. Gustafsson makes the save. Now Howden digs for it in the corner. Formanton comes in as well. Dahlin with Elias Anderson. Anderson who chips to the center ice. Dahlin picks it up for the Swedes. Rossi goes. Clegg stays with him and strips him of the puck. Hale Clegg passes ahead for Steele. Bounced off his stick and now Clegg has it back. Dubé. In comes Dylan Dubé. Winds in. Shoots from a sharp angle and cuts it. And now with 1:39 to go, Canada's on top. Here comes Gustafsson to the Swedish pitch. Lilligan fires it around. Chopped at by Mete up the center ice. Elias Pettersson with it. 6-on-5 now for the Swedes. They did not trail in the tournament part of this game. Now they're down for the second time. Liljegren moves in. Takes a bump there from Howden. Moved down the ice by Mete. Here comes Formanton. Alex Formanton in. Shoots. Scores! Final game against Russia.
Man, for the Swedes, it's 44 straight preliminary round wins again. They win every time in the preliminary rounds.
They haven't lost in an opening round game since 08. In comes Dubé. Now Dubé shoots, misses high and wide. And that puck was played with a high stick. Gord Miller back here with Ray Ferraro. Safe to say that no player has been talked about more in this tournament than Rasmus Dahlin from Sweden. Last year he became the first player born in 2000 to score in the tournament. He is the presumptive #1 pick for the upcoming NHL draft.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody else is going to leapfrog him. He's not going to turn 18 years old until April. This game started out with a little bit of room for Dahlin to skate. That's not the way you play him. Canada back too far. So they tried to get in and play the body on him. Now he's still going to escape as he does here from Radish, but he runs out of room because Radish continues to forecheck and they turn the puck over. Dahlin's going to get stuck in the corner. He moves it up the boards. There's nowhere to go again. I've liked the way that Canada has played against Dahlin. He gets beat by Kyrou here. Liljegren gets beat by Dubé for the first Canadian goal, and then that's a poor penalty with